If you are thinking of moving to Austria, you're at the right place. I have been here for more than 3 years and I will be sharing my personal experiences about my studies, job hunting, some personal experiences, and will also be busting some myths. So I think this category is very interesting for a lot of you. My student life in Austria, a lot of you had a lot of questions regarding it and I receive a lot of comments on my channel. Therefore, I decided to do this video actually. So I would give you a little background about everything regarding my studies. So let's begin with. So I studied a master's in chemistry and chemical technology from Johannes Kepler University in Linz. And why I chose Austria is because I was looking for countries with more affordable studies. So for example, Germany, a lot of university has almost no tuition fee. Austria was having some tuition fee, but it was quite low as compared to other countries like America or UK or Australia. So the tuition fee is 750 euros, which is approximately 50 to 60,000 INR. And I thought that it was quite affordable. And therefore I chose Austria. And also there's another reason. The university I got admitted in was also highly ranked university in Europe. Next comes how much I paid for my studies. So this is a little tricky question because in Austria it's not necessary that you finish your studies in 4 semesters only. You can take a little bit longer, let's say 5 semesters, 6 semesters. So per semester fee is 750 euros. And I finished my master's in 5 semesters, and in total I should have paid approximately 2 to 3 lakhs, but I think I paid less for my studies because after the first semester you could also apply for a scholarship where you can get whole of your tuition fee back and also some amount of scholarship. Talking about my accommodation, when I was a student, I was living in like a dormitory, like a hostel, and I had a room of my own. It was, I think, 12 to 15 square meters, something like that. And I was paying approximately, I would say 20 to 25,000 some INR, something like that. And it was one of the cheapest in the whole city. And I was very lucky that I was able to get that hostel. And so that was the expense. Every month I was paying between 20,000 to 25,000 and even more at the end because they raised the rent. Was studying in Austria hard as compared to my home country? I cannot say it was hard, but it was definitely very, very different from my home country. I was studying also industrial chemistry in one of the universities in India, and there was a huge difference. I definitely faced a lot of challenges while studying because I would say there was some things lacking from my previous studies which I needed in masters, and I was feeling a little left out, left behind compared to other students, and some exams were very difficult. Like I have had to give resits, and resits are very common here. You can give it like next semester, next to next semester, you can give it 5 times. 5th is the last time. If you don't pass the exam 5th time, you're out. But other than that, they are chill. So overall, my experience was quite good and I learned a lot of things in my master's. So now currently I'm a lab technician and I'm working full-time at a startup chemical epoxy company. I found this job through LinkedIn and I was applying it months before I was about to graduate. So I think in my head, I was about to graduate in like April, May, and I started applying like in September, October the previous year. And luckily I found the job. Do you need German to get a job? It really depends. For example, the startup that I'm working in is English, like it works in English. So it was really, really easy for me. I really got lucky. But there are a lot of companies which require German, or at least they prefer someone who knows German and English. And it is the Austrians because they know German and then they also know English. So it can be quite hard if you don't know German. German is definitely a plus that I can say. If you know German and then if you're trying to find a job, it's comparatively easier. What I earn here, is it enough to live? Definitely, it's enough to live. Definitely, I'm living very nicely here. I can stay at a very nice apartment. I can pay nicely for my groceries. I can still save a bit and stuff like that. So with a full-time job and full-time salary, yes, I can live quite nicely here. Work-life balance is really that good in Austria. It's amazing. Then I have few more questions. Is the cost of living in Austria quite high? Of course, if you're working full-time and you want to stay in a nice apartment, then your whole expense, including groceries, which would be like 150 to 200 euros, it will cost you somewhere between 700 to 900 euros. This is definitely 900 euros is on the high end. You can of course go higher than 900 also and lower than 700, but this is like an average if you want to live nicely. So of course it's expensive, but the salaries are also comparable to the expenses. Now I will be busting some myths about Austria, if it is true or false. The first is, does Austria have more coffee houses than fast food chains? Honestly, I don't know, but as far as I've seen, yes. Do Austrians really love skiing that much? They are obsessed with it. Like, everyone I meet knows how to ski, like from the childhood. They have their whole equipments, whole clothing since when they were a child, and I feel left out. Maybe I'm trying it this winters and I will let you know how my experience was. Is Austrian public transport one of the best in Europe? Yes. It is really well connected. I actually would not like to comment on the whole Austria, but currently I'm staying and living in Vienna, and the transport in Vienna is really well connected. The trains are going every 3 minutes to a lot of places. And then there are different types of public transport that you can use. You can use a tram, you can use a train, you can use a different type of a train, you can use a bus. Is Austria really one of the safest countries to live in? Yes. I cannot say it in respect to all the other countries, but I will say it with whatever countries I have visited and whatever experience I have with other countries. I feel really safe. Like, I remember 1-2 times I was just close by dropping off my friend at like 1-2 a.m. in the morning, and I was not fearful at all. I remember I had an encounter with a cat. That cat really scared me, but apart from that, I never felt unsafe. I can go out in the morning, I can go out in the evening alone. I really don't feel unsafe. Is Austrian tap water as clean as bottled water? I don't know if it's as clean as bottled water, but yes, no, I'm not an Austrian. We in Austria drink tap water always. So my normal water, let's say this one, is from the tap. We don't have filters. We don't get mineral waters. I think some people might actually prefer mineral waters and they get the water bottles from the supermarket, but it's absolutely fine to drink the tap water. So I think that is it for this quick round of me telling you my life in Austria. It was a very quick one, I know, but if you want a detailed video on some part, let me know. See you later. Bye.